Hello, my name is Marlene Arias, and today we're going to be talking about global warming. Global warming is an issue and it's a problem that we were having for years, but it was evident in the beginning of 21st century because of the industry. Because in 20th century was invent the electricity. Electricity is an industry bigger. It's incredible the levels of the industry of the electricity. So we present the warmest decade it's like the record of the warmest decade in the history because of the production of electricity. We use electricity daily in our daily life. It's important. We know. We are conscious of this. But the problem is that the production of electricity is not the best for our environment, for the nature, for the basically everything, because they use as a base that is burning fossil fuels, and this produce that is CO2 or carbon dioxide. So there's a problem. We have options, of course, to change the electricity. It's basically to stop this industry of electricity and have solar panels in our houses. But the solar panels, it's too expensive for a lot of people, most of the people. So it's an issue. So that's why it's increasing more and more the electricity industry. Another thing that we have problem is the garbage. Our environment is involved in garbage. The ocean is full of garbage. The earth is full of garbage, and also the industry is producing more and more garbage because we don't have the vision of the future. We just have the vision of the now, and we have a lot of plastic, and we have a lot of things that are really contaminated for the air. So the global warming is basically one of the most important problems that we have, but basically we don't pay attention of these problems. Another thing that is also producing problems with it's another cause of the global warming is basically the changes in the temperature and the climate changes. Because of the problem that we have with the pesticides, also electricity, also with the garbage, we have that is the problem with the temperature, the problem with the rains that is uncontrollable rains, that we have a lot of problems with the air, like the nature is telling us something that is something wrong that we are not paying attention at all. So for the 2015 and also 2024 was registered the most changes, like the changes continues of the climate. Basically we have here, I'm going to read that. We have a global average temperature ratio for 155 Celsius above pre-industrial levels in 2024. Also, we have a rate of 0.25 Celsius per decade, like it's increasing. The changes of the climate. So basically we have a problem with the global warming, and every day is worse. So we have to pay more attention with the global warming, try to take care of everything that is in our hands to save the world.
Consequences of global warming on the planet. Increasing global temperatures. Heat waves are becoming more frequent and intense, affecting human health, agriculture, and water supplies. Melting of glaciers and polar ice. Ice in the Arctic, Antarctica, and mountains is melting, causing habitat loss for species like polar bears and penguins. Rising sea levels. Melting ice and the expansion of warm water make sea levels rise, threatening coastal cities and islands. More severe wildfires. Long droughts and extreme heat increase wildfires, destroying forests, animals, and homes. Changes in weather patterns. Some areas experience stronger hurricanes and storms, while others suffer from extreme droughts. Damage to marine ecosystems. Warming and acidification of oceans destroy coral reef and affect marine life. Impacts on agriculture and food supply. Crops are affected by heat, lack of water, or pests, reducing food production. Human health problems. Respiratory diseases, dehydration, and infection transmitted by mosquitoes like dengue and malaria are increasing. Migration and economic losses. Many people are focused on to leave their homes because of floods or droughts, leading to poverty and conflicts over resources. Loss of biodiversity. Thousands of animals and plant species are at risk of extinction due to rapid changes in their habitats.
Hello everyone, my name is Isabel Consoro and my ID is 155-1965, and I'm going to talk about the impact of global warming on ecosystem and biodiversity. Global warming is driving profound and accelerating change in ecosystems around the world, placing biodiversity and ecological stability under a severe threat. As global temperatures continue to rise due to increasing greenhouse gas emissions, many species are being forced to migrate to cooler regions, such as higher altitudes or toward the poles, in an attempt to survive. However, not all the species can move or adapt quickly enough, leading to population declines and extremely risk of extinction. This problem is especially evident in species with a slow reproductive rates or limited geographic range. Additionally, natural biological cycles such as flowering periods, breeding season, and migration route are shifting, which disrupts the food chain. For example, some insects now hatch earlier due to warmer temperatures, but the birds that depend on them for food may not adjust their breeding time accordingly, causing a mismatch that weakens the survival of both groups, the insect and the bird. Marine ecosystems are also undergoing major transformation in coral reefs, which support about 25% of marine biodiversity, are suffering from bleaching events caused by ocean warming and acidification, weakening entire oceanic food webs. In the Arctic, the rapid melting of sea ice is endangering species like polar bears, walruses, and seals, which rely on ice platforms for hunting and breeding. On land, extreme weather events such as prolonged droughts, heat waves, storms, and floods are altering rivers, lakes, forests, and grassland, affecting species that depend on the stable habitats and the predictable climates. Wetland as well, which act as a nursery for fish, safe zones for birds, and filters for water purification, are shrinking, due to recent sea levels and human expansion. This decline reduces biodiversity and weakens ecological resilience. This environmental destruction also impacts humanity directly through the loss of ecosystem services. Pollinators such as bees, butterflies, and songbirds are declining due to climate stress and habitat degradation, threatening global food production and the stability of natural plant communities, forests, oceans, and wetlands, which act as a major carbon sinks, are being damaged, reducing their capacity to remove the CO2 from the atmosphere, and in some cases releasing stored carbon, which further accelerates climate change. Meanwhile, oceans are absorbing more heat and carbon dioxide than ever, leading to increased acidification and reduced oxygen levels, which are harmful to shell buildings, organisms, fish populations, and marine biodiversity as a whole. This contributes to shifts in fishing zones affecting food security and livelihoods of coastal communities. Additionally, warmer temperatures are expanding the range of pests, pathogens, and invasive species. Diseases once confined to tropical regions are now spreading to new climates, affecting wildlife, crops, livestock, and even human health. In summary, global warming is not only threatening individual species, it is reshaping entire ecosystem and destabilizing the natural system that support life on Earth, including clean air, potable water, fertile soil, and food production. The urgency of the situation requires immediate action through conservation programs, reduction of emission, sustainable land use, protecting of critical habitats, and global cooperation in climate adaptation and mitigation. Protecting biodiversity is essential to maintaining ecological balance, ensuring food security, and safeguarding the well-being of present and future generations. Acting now, we can still preserve much of our natural heritage and help maintain a stable and healthy planet.
Hello everyone, my name is Kimberly Castrosado, and today I'm going to talk about the effects on society and the economy of the global warming. Global warming has serious effects on both society and the economy. First, in society, people are already experiencing extreme weather events like hurricanes, floods, and droughts. These disasters destroy homes, cause health problems, and make it harder for people to get food and clean water. Some families even have to leave their homes because of the rising sea level or lack of resources. Resources. This is called climate migration. High temperatures increase health issues such as asthma, heart disease, especially among children and elderly people. Second, in the economy, global warming causes big financial losses. Agriculture suffers when temperatures and rainfall change, which reduces food production and increases prices. Natural disasters also damage infrastructure and businesses, costing countries billions of dollars every year.
Sectors like tourism and fishing are affected too. But at the same time, global warming is encouraging new green industries like renewable energy that can create jobs and help the planet. Global warming is not only an environment problem, it's also a social and economic challenge. We all need to take action to reduce its, its effects. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Olga Yarixa Fernandez Montero, and this time I'm going to talk about the solutions and measures to fight climate change. So, there are many ways to fight climate change and protect our planet. Some of the most important are renewable energy, recycling, reforestation, sustainable transport, and reducing energy consumptions. Number one is renewable energies that are natural sources of energy that never run out. They come from the sun, the wind, water, or the air of the air. These energies are clean because they do not produce smoke or harmful gases. For example, solar panels use the power of the sun to make electricity, and wind turbines use the hail to produce energy. When we use renewable energies, we protect the planet, reducing pollution and save natural resources for the future. Recycling means using a material again instead of throwing them away. When we recycle plastic, paper, glass, and metal, we reduce the amounts of garbage in the world. It also saves energy because making new products from recycled material use less electricity and water. For example, when we recycle aluminum cans, we save about 95% of the energy needed to make a new one. Recycling is a simple action that everyone can do at home, at school, at work to help the environment. Deforestation is the process of the planting new trees in areas where forests were destroyed. Trees are very important because they clean the air by absorbing carbon dioxide and producing oxygen. They also give homes to animals and prevent soil erosion. And when we cut down too many trees, the air becomes hotter and loses the biodiversity. Planting more trees helps reduce global warming and make our planet greener and healthier. Sustainable transport. Sustainable transport means using ways to moving that do not harm the environment. For example, riding a bicycle, using electricity bicycle, or taking public transport instead of driving cars with gasoline. These actions reduce air pollution in traffic, and they also help us stay healthy. If more people use a sustainable transport, city will be more cleaner and quieter and better for everyone.
Hello, my name is Ilonka Ramirez, and I'm going to talk about environmental education and awareness. It refers to the process of teaching and learning about the natural environment and the importance of protecting it. The goal is to help people to understand how their actions affect the planet and to encourage sustainable practices that promote environmental conservation. Through environmental education, individuals gain knowledge about issues such as pollution, climate changes, deforestation, biodiversity loss, and waste management. It also fosters values, attitudes, and skills to make informed and responsible decisions to protect the environment. Environmental awareness, on the other hand, involves developing a sense of responsibility and commitment to the environment. It encourages people to take action from reducing waste and saving energy to support eco-friendly policies and community projects. Together, environmental education and awareness are essential tools for building a more sustainable future and ensuring that future generations can enjoy a healthy planet. Why is important? Because we need to protect natural resources for future generations, reduce pollutions, and helps combat climate changes, promotes healthier communities and ecosystems, encourages innovations in green technology and sustainable living. And now I'm going to tell you some tips to take care for the earth. The first one, reduce, reuse, and recycle. The second one, save water. The third one, conserve energy. Number 4, plant trees and take care for the plants. That is important to hear. Number 4, use public transport or walk. Number 6, avoid wasting food because it's not healthier. Number 7, support eco-friendly products. And the last one, educate others people.